Alright guys, here's your official setup video, how to set up the webhooks to the algorithms. Alright, so currently we support Tradeovate, most prop firms, so we have Take Profit Trader, Apex, Top Step, My Funded Futures, and Tradeify, and more to come. Okay, we'll continue adding to the list accordingly. So this is what the dashboard looks like once you get your subscription, right? Again, right here, and then you go to connect account. And then if you're trading a live account, meaning you have live funds, like your own money, then you will go to live. If you have a live Tradeovate account, if you're trading a prop firm, you'll be doing demo. So you'll click on demo and it will take you to the authentication screen of Tradeovate. All right, I already have my accounts connected. And then once you connect your portfolio value will pop up here. This is your overall portfolio value of everything you have connected, the amount of trades you have, how many accounts, your total P&L for the day, and then underneath is for the week. Realized P&L, how much you closed out for the day, then for the week, and then unrealized P&L. This is for your live trades, and we'll demonstrate that shortly. So let's go over how to create a group. Okay, so here I have on the right side, it says groups. I'll go here and go to create. I want to make sure this is active. And then I'm just going to name this TPT because I have Take Profit Trader, and I'm going to select my leader account. Now, the way that I have this set up, and just so you guys know, I'm using a browser called Arc, which allows me to have split screens and it's very organized. I can have, spaces and stuff like that you can see on the side. So I keep my Tradeovate on the right, SigmaVue on the left, and it keeps me organized. So that's just a tip and trick that you guys can use. So I see here I have Tradeovate account 343. So I'm going to go to Trader account 343 as my leader, and then I'm just going to select the rest as my followers. Okay. Then I'm going to go to tickers, and then I'm going to type in MNQH5. That is what I'm trading. NASDAQ micros, right? And you want to either press this plus button or right there. Cash exit, I'm going to set this to, I have bigger accounts, so I'm going to set this to 500. If you're trading Apex, there are two things. Your risk, I have 150K Take Profit Trader accounts, but Take Profit Trader does not have a trailing drawdown. Apex does. So whatever you think you're going to risk on a Apex account, you need to cut that in half and then optimize accordingly. I use 10 micro contracts when I trade on my 150Ks. If this was Apex, I'll be trading 5 on 150Ks. Okay. And then I'm just going to press save settings. Okay. And then we're just going to create a group. All right. Close. You can see that pop up right here. All right. So let's just demonstrate how this works really quickly. So you can see right here, that's on the right. We see a nice little buy candle. So let's just
order filled.
Make this less risk. I already made my money for the day, right? We're going to press buy.
Order filled. Order filled.
And you're going to see the dashboard of SigmaVue pop accordingly. All right. Dashboard just needs to pop up and populate. You can see unrealized P&L popping up right there. Okay. And then, if you want to close all your trades out right here, there's a button. Close all trades. Close all trades. Trade closed out, and the front end will update accordingly. All right. And you can see my P&L is updating, and I made some money. All right. Now we're going to go to how to create a webhook. If you want to use our systems to automate the trades, then you just go here to the left, to the bell, go to alerts. And in this circumstance, we're going to go new webhook. And you name your webhook, right? So I'm going to call this TPT because you can have multiple groups. You can have multiple accounts. So maybe you have Apex, My Funded Futures, to Take Profits. You want to name the webhook so you can keep organized. So we're going to go save. And you see I changed it to TPT. When you click on these individual ones, if you have multiple, you can see it changes here at the top. You press copy and it copies to your clipboard. Before we go there, this is errors, rejections, stuff like that. And there's a few reasons that may happen. One, you don't have an active market data subscription on your prop firm. So when you sign up to your prop firm, they have their activation fees. Some prop firms are different. Take Profit Trader kind of does it for you, but Apex, Top Step, and the other ones, they make you sign into your Trade of 8, make sure you sign the agreements, stuff like that. We've come across certain issues where people try to connect their accounts not realizing that they need to sign into Trade of 8 first and go through that process. So if you don't, orders won't execute, webhooks won't work. Sometimes you don't pay the subscription, you don't realize it, accounts are disabled, right? But we made it so if it does get rejected, like you see here, you can click on it and see the error. Invalid quantity error, invalid quantity to close partials to entity has been processed but rejected, and it keeps the JSON. Some of you guys that are new to all of this, you guys can literally just copy, right? You see this, just copy the alert, the error, and go into our Discord channel and view bugs underneath the view section category, and then just post it in there if you have any questions, and we'll answer, just in case you're confused of anything. But we built in the error handling inside the alert, so if anything does go wrong, you just notify us. All right, so for this purpose, I'm going to click on my TPT webhook. You can see there's a brand new webhook. There's no alerts. I'm going to go over to copy. All right, so I'm going to switch over to my trading view. And upon your subscription, we have a plethora of algos out here. So we're just going to go to indicators, and you'll get access to all of our systems. But favorite is the Sigma algo currently. All right, so we're just going to add that to the chart. And mine is set by default, and I'll teach you guys how to do that in a second. But you just type in agree in this box, and you press apply. All right. You can see this all pops up. Don't get intimidated. Let's go over some stuff. I'm going to make a dedicated video about the Sigma algo and, break down how it works, what it is. And that will be a whole probably 30-minute to an hour video explaining you guys what this algo is. But for now, we're just going to go over the basic setup process. If you want to copy my settings, feel free to do so. All right. So the first things first, in order to set up the webhook, you need to make sure these buttons are on: bridge, show trades, and alerts. Here is where you're going to paste in your leader account for your group. So this means I'll just go back over to SigmaVue really quickly. I'll go to my dashboard, and then I'm going to go right here on this clipboard button, copied my leader account. And if anything, you also go to the connected brokers and then copy right here if you're unsure. If you just want to make sure, you want to go in here, you see 043, and then you can go to the connected brokers and get that. So now that I copied the name, I'm just going to go over to and paste that in here. Boom. Right. Now we have symbol. All right. This symbol is not the symbol that you see on TradingView. All right. This symbol is the symbol that Trade of 8 recognizes it. So if I want to trade micros, this is how Trade of 8 has it listed. So we're going to use MNQ H5. So when it sends the alert, Trade of 8 immediately knows what ticker that we're looking for. So I'm going to type that in here. Okay. This is all for back testing and stuff like that. Again, we'll go over that in a separate video. And then right here is very important, is your risk. So I always tell people just go fixed. And again, if you're trading my funded futures, any prop firm basically that doesn't have a trailing drawdown and it's over 100K, I go 10 micro contracts, and I showed you guys my settings for my cash exit and stuff like that. And yeah, but if you're trading Apex and it's a 100K account, I'm cutting that in half, right? So you don't want to the proper risk, but because of that trailing drawdown, a loss or two can deactivate the account. So that is my heed to you guys, is to make sure that you're taking that to account when you're setting your risk. But this is where you set the risk value, how many contracts you're going to risk per trade. I like using 10 because I have 150Ks and I don't have a trailing drawdown rule. All right, so you guys want to copy my settings really quickly. All right, so I'm basically using default settings. My settings are the default settings when you put it on the chart. So you just want to make sure. Okay, I have breaking even TP1 here. You can see we have take profits. I have it at 25 points. Some people get this confused, where it's fixed or risk to reward. That's what RRR means. So if it's fixed, this means 25 points. This means 50 points. This means 100 points. You can change this. But if I set this to risk to reward, then it's going to change this to 25x my stop loss. And my stop loss settings are right up here set to 50. So you can see that changes dramatically the strategy, right? And we want to change this back to fix. And these percentage numbers on the right mean how much I'm going to take partials at these take profit points. So at 25 points, I'm taking 50% of my trade off. At take profit 2 is 30%. At TP3 is 20. These numbers have to equal up, to 100 points. Okay, 100%. If I don't want TP3, for example, you still need to make sure that this equals 100 points. So you're going to put this at 50 and 50. This is 100%. Sorry, I keep me speaking. Okay. So these are my default settings, right? I have my Renko band set to V1. And by default, you guys have at 20. 20 is also good, but I use 10. You get into tighter moves. I use 10, traditional, source, close. And then the only filter that I have on, we have the step moving average. We have the volumetric trend. I use VWAP 1. So the daily VWAP is my filter. And all the way down, I trade the New York session. So I have that on strict. Strict is the filter. And that's what this red box over here is. From 8 in the morning Eastern, right here, you can select the time. So New York, Eastern, 8 o'clock to 5. But usually I'm done by 9 o'clock because of that cash exit rule. Now, something I really want to put heed to before we continue is you guys need to make sure that once you find your number that you're good with, you pause your alerts. And I would teach you how to do that. But for example, I know that I'm okay with making $500 a day per account, right? Across 5 accounts. That's good money, right? That's $2,500. So I'm doing that every day for 5 days a week for 4 weeks out of the month. And you do those numbers, and then you come to realize, like, oh, I can really just compound and make my money. Okay, so there you go with that. And now once you have your settings, right, and this is how when I pulled it up, it had degree reset up and all my settings are already there. I can go to default and save as default. Okay, so I can save as default and press OK. Right, now to set up your webhooks, we're going to go right here to add alert on Sigma Algo. All right, I want you to go to alert function calls only. Then I want you to name your alert. Keep yourself organized. TPT, for 150K, because I have other alerts. Then you want to go to notifications. Show toast notifications are the notifications that pop on the bottom right side of the screen. You can have us send emails. You can notify in the app if you have TradingView downloaded. But this is what you need: webhook URL. Some of you probably don't have this enabled, so you're probably going to have to get two-factor authentication, which is fine, right? So what we're going to do is go back to SigmaVue. And we're going to go to the alerts page, and then we're going to copy that webhook again. I'm going to click on my TPT, right? And then I'm going to copy that webhook. That webhook in there, all right? Then I'm going to press create. And you can see TPT for 100 there. Now, say I made my $500 for the day and I don't want any more alerts going. There's a pause button right here. I can pause the alert and stop manually, right? And at 12 o'clock at night, you want to start again, you restart the alert and it's active. If I want to delete the alert, I delete it on this trash can. If I want to edit the alert, say you change webhooks for whatever reason, you want to change the name, whatever, you can do that, okay? So I'm going to delete this, but also another thing, if you find different settings in the algo that you want and you change them, but you do not edit your alert, you don't delete the alert, you have to make sure that you delete the alert and reestablish the alert. You don't have to change the webhook. Make sure it's the same webhook. But if you change settings, it does not change the settings on the previously made webhook. You have to delete the webhook and then make alert, and remake the alert. Okay? Very simple process. So next is how I will tell you guys to organize, some tips and tricks, right? So you can go over to the indicator as well and say I have my funded futures accounts, right? And instead of having to go into the same indicator, right, the same one I have here, and changing the account name and whatever I want to do, because I have this save as default, I can do one or two things. I can go to more, I can go to copy, and I can, press Control V or right click paste, and you see you get an exact copy of those settings, right? And then you just go in here and you put the leader account of your My Funded Futures leader group, right? And just go through that gambit. If you want to have one chart layout, multiple, Sigma algo strategies, all of them going to different groups, okay? And then you can set an alert with your specific settings, change the name again to, boom. All right, now this one is Dalian My Funded Futures. If you're using another group, you have to make another webhook, right? So I have a webhook that's dedicated for my Take Profit Trader account. I have a webhook dedicated for my Funded Futures account. I have a webhook dedicated for my Apex accounts. Everything is organized and segregated that way, okay? Another thing you guys can do in order to organize yourself is you can also do that. Say I want to copy this. I want to copy this indicator, right? And also remember, you can also save as default once you find settings you like I did, right? Go here to the top right, and then you can go create a new layout and say I'm going to name it Dalian Apex, right? You have this, right? It's a blank layout. I can copy and paste the indicator right here and do the same thing. Change the account name, leader, whatever. And now I have a specific layout for that group, and it keeps you really organized and precise. If you want to switch through them, you just go here and you switch through them, right? Another thing you can do, I'm going to, you can also make a copy, right? And then it'll just copy it over, go do the same thing, copy and paste, and then change the settings and do what you got to do, right? So there's different ways to keep yourself organized. You know, you can go in here, open layout. If you want to delete it, delete. Okay. Right. So there's that. You know, I want to delete this one as well so I don't forget. Okay. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's how you set up the alerts. I will make another video going over the Sigma algo in detail. But you can see these are my settings on the ones I just gave you. All right, 68% profitable, good upturn here, and that's pretty much it. So if you have any questions, please let me know, and talk soon.